For a laugh this morning, I decided to go into the Australian version of Kmart and see what I can buy for my 124 project. I decided to pick up a $6.50 garden hose for my pressure washer. I was not at all tempted by these toolkits because they look as crappy as they probably are. I can't imagine any of this lasting more than a couple uses. I did find this screwdriver set for $6 slightly amusing, and I decided to give it a try just to see how crappy it really is. They have a very small selection of oil in there for people that are after cheap engine oils for presumably cars that are on their last legs and you're just using it to get to and from work until it dies. These are the screwdriver sets. You'll notice that there's absolutely no mention of it being hardened there, and that is absolutely the case. I just tested it on 5 doorknobs on my 10-year-old house, tightening those up. Interior doorknobs, that is. They're not even that loose, and I didn't actually apply that much pressure to the screwdriver. And the metal blades are already deformed. So I can't imagine this tip being particularly useful for very long. Probably suits its design purpose for the homeowner that's not very handy, that just needs to tighten the occasional screw and then throw it out. That's about it. And back onto the 124 stuff. These are the bits that I'm going to pressure wash. Mainly the differential because it's absolutely filthy and it's caked in this dirt. There's no real other way of getting that off without a lot of manual effort, so the pressure washer does a great job with that. This is the $6 hose that I'm just testing out. To my absolute astonishment, it works perfectly. It does swell, ridiculously so, probably twice the size of its original diameter, but I do have 100 psi mains water pressure here. I think my pressure regulator out on the street has failed. I've run over it a number of times, but 100 psi is probably not typical. As with everything in Australia, there's always something trying to kill you. This pressure washer has sat for 1 week since I used it last, and already there's spiders that have moved into it. Not so concerned about the one in the trolley itself, but the one in the handle. Yeah, I don't really want that crawling on my hand when I'm using the pressure washer. And as you can see, it comes out, and now I can get rid of it. So now it's safe to use. The fuel in this pressure washer is getting on to 3 or 4 years old. It was down to the last 1 cup of fuel in there, which did run out on this job. This is greatly sped up. I don't do it this quickly. You won't achieve anything if you do it this quickly. You've got to pay attention and do it nice and slow. Make sure everything comes off. Now there is some kind of wax applied at the factory. You can't get that off with a pressure washer. I'm not sure how to remove that. I might just leave it alone. I did not paint the subframe on my other car. I left it with the original black powder coating and the factory wax. But I'll probably paint the differential. Although it actually looks okay after it's been cleaned up. So this is the cleaned up subframe. Bearing in mind I did run out of fuel, so it's not as good as I'd like it to be. And the differential so far. I did run out of fuel halfway through cleaning that, so it's not really done as well as I'd like. But so far it's looking a lot better.